Mental Training 101. And now back to Get Warrior Tough with Andrew and Dutch.
All right, we're back at it, man. This is so awesome, Dutch. I feel like a little kid like in a candy shop, man. Get Warrior Tough, the most monumental hour in media anywhere. Karen, you are on, man. Bring Karen up, AJ. Karen is from a Clemson grad from South Carolina. We got Clemson connections everywhere. What's up, girl?
Hi, how are you?
So awesome to hear from you. First off, I'm a huge fan. You have giant guns, and I feel you're like tougher than I am. So you rock, man. So what have you been doing?
No, thank you.
Well, I hang out with a lot of fit people.
Congratulations, this is exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is really cool. Now, hey, do you know Dutch? Because you were at Clemson at the same time, I think. Dutch, do you know Karen?
Now, I think I was in the library all the time, so I didn't get to hang out with her. I recognized her photo, but I was studying all the time. I didn't go to many parties, so
yeah, I thought her 40-yard dash is faster than yours anyway, though. I thought her 40 was faster. So what's up, Karen? I heard you're about ready to start your first half marathon.
Yes, that was one of the things that I wanted to do this year, was try to get out of my own way and do something that was going to challenge me. And so me signing up for a half marathon, I think it'll help me. It gives me a goal. I think it will build up my confidence and just getting out of that box, getting out of that comfort zone. I think that's one of the biggest things I'm trying to do this year.
Now you're in healthcare, but also in corporate, and so you deal with stress in the workplace a lot. Now, do you find that when you do physical activity, does that help you manage your own stress? And then how do you? Because I know you counsel a lot of people on how to handle stress in the workplace. What's your best advice on that?
My best advice is usually I try to talk to people about things they like to do. Some people find comfort in reading. Some people like to draw. Some people like to take walks. For me, it's going to the gym, and it's a great stress reliever because I don't bring it home and kick the dog. I mean, by the time I get home, I feel better. I feel de-stressed, and I've left everything I need to leave in the gym, and I sleep better, and I feel like my attitude is a lot better because of it. And I try to talk to people about because I deal with a lot of employees that are dealing with a lot of stressors. So talk about different coping mechanisms that can help them, things that are attainable to them. Just as simple as, like I said, just going out for a walk or watching your favorite TV show or just doing something just to kind of cope with the situation. Oftentimes is something that's beyond their control.
Oh, that's the key. Dutch and I go all over the country, Karen. We speak to corporate audiences and public audiences, and we always ask them what's their definition of stress. And it always says something about. They always say something about they feel like they're out of control. Do you know what I'm talking about, Dutch? That's kind of what we get.
Oh yeah. I think it's. I don't want to use a word that doesn't apply, but it's an epidemic. And you see it when you go throughout the nation, man. I'm sure throughout the world. I'm sure at some point we're going to get throughout the world, but it bothers me that for something that seems so simple to me now is so difficult for others to deal with. Do you find yourself when you're dealing with these folks having to lower your expectations or kind of adjust to where they are and bring them up, or do you hit them right in the mouth? Because you'll see with me and Andrew, sometimes we just hit them right in the mouth. With you doing what you do, how do you handle it?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Karen. Yes.
Oh, well, it depends. Some people are at that point where they're very, very fragile and they can't handle it. I know I had a death in the family 2 years ago, and it was really strange when I came back to work. All these people were related to deaths in the family. And I felt I was coming from that experience that I can talk to them and help them to understand this is what you're going to go through. Everybody's going to be there for you because they think they're fine now. But once those people are gone, you're going to have to deal with all those emotions. And it can be really a big challenge to get people to go get help because they think they can handle everything. And I try to tell them there's nothing, you're not weak because of it, because they'll say, I'm not crazy. I said, well, of course not crazy. People don't go for help. And so I try to just kind of gauge oftentimes the conversation, try to feel them out to see how open they are for me to really just kind of be no nonsense, or do I just kind of do the general approach?
Well, Karen, you're much nicer than I am, and so's Dutch. You know, and you know me for a lot of years, Karen. I don't mind doing the, like Dutch says, punch them in the throat kind of thing, right? But to shock them. But it's always in tough love. I mean, I always love them, right? So, but you know what, folks? They all people respond in different ways to different tactics or techniques or approaches, and so I always like to hear from another professional how they do it, because you know I'm trying to learn and grow out of my box as well, and I don't, you know, it's not a cookie cutter. That's why I have Dutch to balance me off. And so, man, we appreciate you calling in and doing the hard work that you do, and I really am jealous of your guns. No kidding.
Thank you. I'm keeping them up, though.
I know. I love it. I stalk you on Facebook, by the way. Every time you do a run, you post it, and I follow that, man. I'm just, you know, Swamp Rabbit Trail and all that. So you're awesome. I love you, Karen. So thanks so much for calling. I need to see your face again soon.
Okay, I know. I've been seeing you guys. I love you guys, and congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thanks. Rock on. Isn't this fun, Dutch? This is so much fun, dude.
No doubt, no doubt. I love it. I love the interaction. You know, I do want to make a comment about how we do things here. Largely, what we do ends up being a preventative maintenance. You know, when you think a certain way, it keeps a lot of those things from ever happening.
Right.
So that's one aspect of it.
Yeah, we like to get ahead of the curve. Yeah, you're right.
And I'll tell you, if you reach us at a time where you do have stress, or you've had stress in the past, what it's going to make you do, it's going to rewire you. So even in the midst of that battle, it's like creating a new battle plan within that battle, and then you're going to go knock that stress out, and then you're going to go back in your past, and since you're rewired, you're going to start viewing some of the past stress differently, so it can no longer be a stress if it ever comes back to the forefront again. So that's what happens. And when you change the way you think, it changes what you accept, and it changes how you feel, because thinking is a part of feeling. So if I change the way I think, then it's going to change the way I feel. So all these feelings that used to have a certain impact on me, it no longer is there, because my thinking has changed. So it becomes preventative. It goes back into your past, and it sets you up for the future. Your present, and it sets you up for the future in everything, because the way you think is the beginning of everything. And we'll talk more about that in the future as well. We're setting you up for some good stuff in the future. But remember that the way you think, everything begins with the way you think.
Right, and that's why we call the title of our book Ground Zero Leadership, CEO of You, because it's ground zero. Ground zero is you. It starts with you, right? I mean, that's what the whole thing starts with, you and how you think. And that CEO of You, and if you guys get the hang of what we're doing, go to the website getwarriortough.com, and you'll get more insight of kind of what we're talking about. And there is I feel kind of jumbled right now, Dutch, because there is a specific psychological path that we walk every one of our clients down, and we just can't do it in this format. All we could do here is kind of like let you know, make you aware that it's out there, and the information that there is help there. There's a solution for everything that you're going through. There's nothing, and I honestly believe this, that there's no problem that we can't solve. That I'm a walking solution to every single problem. And cancer will be cured. Warp speed will be achieved, right? And just give us enough time and enough people in the room saying, how would we do it, instead of we can't do it.
Yes, and we can't do it without you. As Andrew said, it's CEO of You. You know, we can't do it without you, but we have a process that if you trust and if you believe in, it's going to happen. But it starts with you. Everything starts with you. You're the boss. It starts with you. And right now, this is more of an introductory show because of the new audience that's been joining us. But so we're allowing a certain amount of jumping around. But you'll see a method to our madness, and we're going to get you some places, and you're going to be excited, and you're going to feel some changes in your life, some transformational changes, and you're going to be happy to share with others. But you got to be dialed in and tuned into yourself, who you are, and we're going to touch on that as we move along as well.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a huge thing right there, is who are you? You know, and you and I, and again, you and I, we go across the country when we talk to people. You know, you mentor a lot of people and coach a lot of people. I coach a lot of people. You know, I speak in front of a lot of audiences, and when we ask people who they are, they always tell us what they do. Right, like, oh, I'm the executive vice president of the third largest bank, you know, and I'm a cop, and I'm a mom, and I'm a sales rep. No, those are roles you play, man. That's not who you are, you know. And that's really the ground zero piece. Like, we got to figure out internally who are you and who do you want to be? What's the internal strength that you want to highlight, right? What's the thing that you aspire to, and then figure out what your internal identity is, and it'll instantly calm the storm. All this, there's nothing that could shake me, Dutch. And the people like, that's crazy talk. Listen, man, I told people that I was bulletproof, and that was my truth, right? I would say I'm bulletproof, and I made my living with a gun for 30 years in some of the worst places on the planet, and now that's become a fact. For the last 30 years, I would be bulletproof because I don't even have a scratch on me, man. I got a couple cuts and bruises, but they're nothing, right? So I honestly believe this stuff because it's worked in my life. I know that's anecdotal, but you and I, we have, and Amber, our research and development partner, she's brought in the science behind this. Everything that we tell you is scientifically backed. We're not making, this ain't just motivational speaker crap. We ain't making it up. We have cognitive and behavioral neuroscience. We have biopsychology. There is functional MRI, brain scans, and brain imaging. We have science to back all this process up that we bring.
And I tell you what, if you hang around us long enough, you'll see it manifest in our lives. I had someone come up to Andrew. I wasn't in town, but when you did the event down in South Carolina, someone comes up to Andrew and says, "I get it now." And Andrew's like, "What were you talking about?" I get why Dutch thinks the way he thinks. Mm-hmm. Because when I'm on my sports talk show, nothing bothers me, nothing rattles me. I'm sitting, I'm having a conversation with you, whether you disagree or not. It's just a conversation. We're talking, and so people get all excited about something like, whoa, let's slow down. Let's think about this for a second. People don't generally do that in sports talk. So they began to piece together why I do what I do and how I do what I do. And it came back to critical thinking. Right. So this is real life stuff. This is going to get you through without the emotional outbursts. It's going to raise your level of emotional intelligence. Your calmness is going to be controlled. Everything is going to be completely under control. And you're going to be better for it because it's going to manifest itself in your relationships, your professional life, your personal life, your life with your children, your spouse, everything. It's going to manifest itself in everything, and you're going to become better for it and healthier for it.
And this was cool because it was like that person that came up to me. It was almost like it was one of those moments where I had pulled the curtain back and they could see, all of a sudden it dawned on them because they had listened to you for years. And all of a sudden it dawned on them. They're like, oh my gosh, that's what he's been doing. And like as soon as they saw it, they recognized immediately all the past track record that they had with you. And it was amazing to see that happen in real life, real time. Absolutely. And it's real. It is real. And you'll see there's some Dutchisms, like it's real, he'll allow it, and there's a couple other ones that we'll get into as the show goes. All right, so listen, guys, I need your help because we want to get Dutch's Awful Boss story, but I can't get it unless you give us one that's, triggers his telling of his story. So go to GetWarriorTough.com, go to the Awful Boss, enter into the contest, and give us your best story. Dutch, we're coming up on a break. We will be right back. You're listening to the Get Warrior Tough radio show with Andrew and Dutch.